Hi guys, so welcome to my second video, which was originally supposed to be my first video, but like I had to record it like 3 times and I was overthinking a lot, and we're just gonna do a way more like chilled version of like a Q&A and like my fitness story and all that fun stuff. So let's get into it. Okay, so I thought it would be easier to start out with my fitness story and then kind of go into a few questions after. Also, my memory from the past 3 years is quite literally horrible. So it's really hard for me to like remember everything, but I'm gonna try my best. So I grew up in Kansas for most of my life, and I was competitively Irish dancing for I think like 14 years. So I was always very active growing up and never really worried about what I was eating, my weight, kind of how I looked, any of that stuff. So kind of fast forward to 2019, I moved to New Jersey, and once I moved, I decided that I didn't want to Irish dance anymore just because it like wasn't the same, because my whole dance school was back in Kansas and I didn't really want to join a new school or just like practice in my basement by myself because it just like wasn't the same. So I stopped, and then I got into a relationship pretty soon after I moved there, and in that relationship I started to smoke a lot of like green sweet like stuff. Anyway, started to smoke a lot, and my diet was pretty horrible, I'm not gonna lie. I got like White Castle every single day. So during that time I noticed that I was gaining a lot of weight just because I wasn't active anymore, and then also my diet was like really bad. I've been struggling with an low-key like an eating disorder for a few years before this, but nothing like that bad. It started getting bad in 2019, so let me think. Like I said, I can't remember shit. So my eating, I kind of developed like a worse eating disorder. I was getting really depressed, restricting a lot. I started to self-harm a bit. It was getting pretty bad, so I decided to start therapy, which helped a lot. I highly recommend therapy to anyone going through anything. I only just now stopped going to therapy like a month ago, but yeah, totally recommend it if you haven't done it. Yada yada yada. I got a little better, but like anyway, fast forward again to mid 2020. That's when I started my freshman year of college. So I moved to New York City because I went to FIT, which is like a fashion college in New York, which I don't know why I went there because I'm not into fashion whatsoever, but anyway, I didn't really know who I was at that point. So anyway, I went to fashion school, and then I dormed as well, like by myself, because at that time with COVID and everything, school was online, but they let you dorm, so you kind of got like the city experience. So I dormed by myself. I think my second week up there, I decided to end things with my boyfriend at the time, and then which really, you know, kind of like it wasn't good. I went into a complete spiral of just like guilt, a bunch of stuff. So I went to a spiral. Eating disorder got really bad because I was living by myself, so I was like, like I don't have anyone telling me that I have to eat, so I just like didn't eat. I also had no money, so I spent money on my vapes, and that's about it. Anyway, so spiraling, constantly going clubbing, partying, and that whole scene is pushed on young girls so heavily in New York. It's really dangerous and very unsafe, and there's a few times I look back, I'm like, I don't know how I made it out of that situation, but here we are. Anyway, yeah, so kind of forming a really bad relationship with alcohol because at that time it was kind of the only thing that made me happy. So anywho, fast forward to beginning of 2021, I moved into an apartment with 2 other girls that also went to my college. And this is where it started to get really bad. So the first few months of the apartment, we were like constantly throwing parties. I was drinking all the freaking time, mentally not doing well. Now we get to the absolute rock bottom pit of my life. April and May of 2021. Some really fun stuff happened. Yeah, so some really fun, traumatic stuff happened. I got diagnosed with severe PTSD and anxiety. I would have constant anxiety attacks. I couldn't leave my bedroom without like having an anxiety attack. I also struggled, I forget the name, like derealization or depersonalization, one of those two, where just like nothing felt real for a solid 3 to 4 months. And I still struggle with it sometimes, like sometimes it comes back up. I'm like, whoa. But yeah, for like 3 to 4 months, I couldn't like watch TV, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror, I couldn't go on my phone because everything, it felt like a bad high. Like when you get too high and everything starts getting really like scary and everything like seems off and different, and like that's kind of what it feels like, but it's also like impossible to explain to like someone who's never gone through it. But anywho, fast forward a few months, fall semester 2021, college starts back up. I'm still very much struggling with my anxiety and like derealization, depersonalization, whichever one it is. And I had to pregame to go to classes at college because I was too anxious to go, so I would get drunk every night just to go to school, but it was bad. With all of that, my eating disorder progressively got worse and worse because I think I felt so out of control with myself and with my whole life that like my eating was the one thing I could control, but which is so ironic because I was so out of control in the same way. But anyway, yeah, eating disorder got hit like a rock bottom at the very end of 2021. At that time, at the end of the year, I was so over being upset, depressed, anxious, struggling with my eating disorder all the time. I hated it. I finally realized like I need to change, I want to change. You're not going to change unless you want to change, so you can't have someone like force you to change, you know what I mean? Like you gotta want it. And I wanted it. So I made a goal to start working out at the beginning of 2022, which I stuck to. The first 2 weeks of working out, I was only working out to lose more weight. Like I was just doing like the bike machine just to like burn calories. I wasn't like actually lifting. But as time went on, I did start to try more lifting exercises. And I think I started to like kind of fall in love with it and fall in love with the progress that I was making. It was the first time in a very long time where I actually kind of felt strong. Yeah, I started to see progress. I challenged myself to eat more because I knew all this effort I was putting into the gym, I wasn't gonna see it unless I get my diet like together. So I started fixing my diet, pushing myself to eat more. I saw more results, and then at that point it just gets addicting. And then I don't remember how exactly I started social media. I think I just saw a few girls on TikTok post like workout videos, and I was like, ooh, like I could do that. So I started posting little like workout videos, trends, nothing crazy. They didn't do very well at the start. And then I don't really remember, I think like one video blew up. I kept posting and posting. I was posting like 3-4 times a day because I was like actually like psychotic, and like looking back, I don't know how I did that. But anyway, they kind of kept blowing up because I was posting so often. And there was one video in particular that really blew up. It got like 20 million views. I did end up deleting that video though because I think it was kind of sending the wrong idea. And at that time, I was such a newbie in the gym that I didn't really know what I was doing. Anyway, I've deleted it since, but that video definitely kind of like kickstarted my TikTok, and then the people from TikTok would start to follow my Instagram, and then, yeah, it wasn't until like late 2022, I would say, that my accounts actually started taking off and doing well. But yeah, so I'm trying to think. I feel like I left a lot out because my brain, like my memory is so patchy. That's pretty much my fitness story. So now to answer some questions. Let's have a look, okay? So what's your major? Okay, so at FIT I was marketing and communications major? Advertising, marketing, and communications major. So random. So I got my associates in that, and then I realized I absolutely hated it, and I wanted to transfer colleges, so I did, and now I study exercise science. I was originally studying exercise science slash pre-physical therapy. That was like the name of the major, because at that time I thought that I wanted to do physical therapy, but I think with the whole social media thing kind of taking off and me falling more and more in love with the whole thing and the opportunities that can come from it, I kind of put physical therapy on the back burner, and I really want to kind of pursue this whole thing full time and hopefully one day branch out into start kind of my own businesses and kind of be a girl boss, entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what I kind of want to do. I don't want to work for no one. Anywho, next question. I hope I answered that. Okay. What's your advice for someone wanting to start out on social media? So I get asked this a lot. I would say these are just tips that help me. Investing in a good camera, like personally for me, when I see low quality like videos on my feed, I kind of just tend to skip. So definitely invest in like a good camera. Make sure that the content that you're putting out is good quality content, not just like trends and stuff, because I definitely did that for a while and it just like wasn't. Anyway, so yeah, good quality content, good quality camera, and I think that you just have to like want it. A lot of effort goes in behind the scenes that I don't think most people realize. It has to be like your passion. If you don't like doing it, you won't do it. So that was such like a Chad answer, but oh well. What's your favorite muscle group to hit? Now this is funny because this has changed so many times throughout the past like year and a half that I've been working out. I think at first it was glutes, and it was glutes for a long time just because I had no butt before, so like seeing my glute progress was like so exciting. Yeah, it was glutes for a while, and then I think it kind of switched over to legs. And at this time, I wasn't training upper body at all because I was kind of insecure of my upper body and like how big it was already. Like growing up, I felt like I had really broad shoulders, and I was like, I don't want them to get more broad or bulky if I start training my upper body, which is definitely not the case at all. I feel so much more confident, so much more feminine ever since I started training my upper body. Like, don't be like me. Do it. You won't regret it. You're not gonna look like C-Bum by training upper body. It's hard to get to look like that. You know what I mean? So to answer the question, my favorite body part to train currently is my upper body. So, yes. What do I do for my diet? I get asked this a lot too, and I feel like it's kind of a disappointing answer to a lot of people because I'm not strict with my diet at all because I'm only a year and a half into recovery, so tracking calories and being really strict with my diet can be pretty triggering. So I just track my daily protein intake. I try to get around like 130, 140 grams of protein in a day. That's like a goal. Sometimes I don't hit that. I just try to switch out like unhealthy foods for healthy foods. So like super greasy and sugary stuff, I switched out for like more clean home cooked meals. And I feel like that in itself helped a lot. I also completely cut out alcohol, which I know can be like controversial, because you know like balance is key. But for me, I'm not a balanced girl. Like I feel like I have a very addictive personality, so like balance just doesn't work well for me. So I completely cut out alcohol, I completely cut out nicotine, completely cut out toxic people from my life all at the same time, and it was amazing. I couldn't recommend it more if you're like me. But I understand not everyone can be like that, and balance really works well for other people, so it's kind of just up to you. Favorite activewear brand? I would definitely say Gymshark. I've been working with Able ever since I started social media, so like Able's OG. Love them. If you're trying to find some good booty scrunch shorts for glute days, Define is where it's at. I love their shorts. Those are just my 3 personal favorites. What's my PR in squats? So funny story. I didn't start back squatting until like 2 months ago because I was really intimidated by the squat rack, I think. I don't know. And I was like, oh, like I'm pretty strong. Like my legs are pretty strong. So when I went to go squat for the first time, I was like, oh, I should be able to squat like at least a plate easily. Because I think TikTok makes you think that like the weight that these social media influencers are lifting is like normal and light, and then in reality it's actually really impressive and like really heavy weight that's not normal for a lot of people. So I went to go like squat a plate and I was like, that's kind of heavy. And my form was so bad, and like I just I don't like them. I don't like them. I do want to improve my form. It's just like I just don't have the energy or like want the desire to improve them. So I just don't do them. How do you gain the confidence to go to the gym? At the beginning I was not confident at all. No one's confident when they first go to the gym. Like gym anxiety is so real at the beginning. But I like to compare it to like a job. Like your first day of a new job is going to be like nerve-wracking. You're going to be anxious. You don't know where everything is. You don't really know what you're doing. And it's exactly like the gym. Fast forward like 2 weeks, you're going to get the hang of everything. You're going to know where everything's at, exactly what to do. And it's the same as the gym. So like the first 2 weeks, you're probably going to be a little anxious, which is totally normal, but it does get better the more you go and the more consistent you are. And you're going to kind of see like the same people there every time, especially if you go at a set time every time. It's going to be kind of the same crowd, and you're like, oh, like I know that guy, or like that guy was here last time. Like you kind of get a feel for the people around you as well. So what's your goal long term? Fitness wise long term, I want to continue gaining more muscle. I feel like I have lost so much weight and muscle the past few like 2 months, and I hate it. I was meaning to lean out a little bit because I kind of did like a 3-month bulk, January through March. So I was like, oh, now I'll lean out a bit for the summer, but like I leaned out too much. So I think starting August, I'm gonna do like a 6-month bulk and really try to like bulk up and gain as much muscle as possible. I don't know if that counts as like a long-term goal. Long-term as in like job and career-wise, I definitely think I have like girl boss entrepreneur energy inside of me, and I really want to eventually kind of create my own company, whether that's an activewear company or like create my own app, or be like a creative director of an athletic apparel company or something like that. I think that would be really cool. And yeah, I don't know though. We'll see. We'll see. Are you married? No. I am only 20, so like I'm in no rush to be getting married or engaged, but I am in a relationship, but I'm not married or engaged. So, OnlyFans, shut up. What helped you see more progress in the gym? 1000% diet and training to failure. If you're not taking your diet, if you're not taking your diet and your training seriously, you're not going to see the results that you're wanting to see. Period. Ciao to you too. Are you planning on going to any expos? I've never been to any kind of like events or expos, but I do have a few coming up in the near future, but I can't really share the details of that yet. But soon, I will soon. Also, I have this huge freaking announcement that I cannot wait to share with you guys. And it's been my dream ever since I started this whole thing, and now it's like coming true and a reality. And it just wouldn't be possible without all of your love and support, and like seriously, Your support never goes unnoticed, and I really appreciate you and love you guys so much. Because you allow me to like chase my dreams every single day and be the girl boss that like I've always wanted to be. So thank you. Anyway, sappy little rant over. How much do I weigh? I personally do not weigh myself. I think scales are really misleading because, or at least typical scales are misleading because you could be losing fat but gaining muscle and you're gaining weight, and that can be like really, it can kind of mess with your mind a bit. I've used to weigh myself religiously every single day, and that number on the scale took over my mind for years, and I feel like it's so freeing not knowing how much I weigh and not having to step on that scale every single morning. So I just don't like to weigh myself. Let's do one more. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? That's an easy question because I make the most delicious protein oats every morning, and I've been eating them every single day for over a year. They're just that good. If you guys want me to make a video on how I make them, I will. I have in the past, but I could do like an updated one because these damn oats, they're so good. And during like my bulk time, I would have 2 bowls a day. I miss it. God, they're so freaking good. But yeah, I would eat that every single day if I had to, which I don't have to, but I do anyway. Anywho, yeah, so I just kind of want to do a little bit of a shorter, more chilled kind of Q&A, story time video with you guys, and I hope you guys liked it. I definitely want to do more Q&As, so I'm probably gonna like post something on my story again, you know, asking you guys for questions, so. Bruh. I just realized my microphone wasn't even plugged in this whole time. Okay. Well, hopefully it sounds okay. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And I will be back. I think I'm going to try and post like every Friday. So expect to be seeing this on a Friday if all goes well. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for watching.